Alright, let's get Eddie back. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Alright, Eddie, let's rock. Let's talk to Mr. House. We've done just about all we can for now.
They say history is written by the victor. I like to think history is written by the person who writes it.
Written by Victor.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on.
Thank you.
I see you brought a friend. Sorry, partner, but they're gonna have to stay outside.
Okay.
Come back soon now.
Welcome to the Vegas Strip.
I can't gamble? Alright.
Where to, partner? Penthouse floor. What floor, partner?
Well, hello, Sugar. Mr. House is waiting for you in his office.
Who are you?
I'm Jane, one of Mr. House's girls. We keep him entertained. We don't get many guests lately. Perhaps we can entertain you as well.
Tell me about House.
Why, Sugar, he's the maximum utmost. If it weren't for Mr. House, we wouldn't have this fabulous wonderland of New Vegas, would we?
Sounds like you're pretty fond of him.
Well, of course I am, silly. Mr. House is just the smartest, most wonderful man there ever was. Why, did you know he single-handedly reclaimed New Vegas from all those nasty tribes that used to live here? Well, he single-handedly sent in his Securitrons to do it, but that counts in my book.
Didn't realize robots could love.
Sugar, I may be a robot on the outside, but on the inside, my neurocomputational matrix is an exact copy of Mr. House's favorite girl.
So, what do you do?
Mr. House has a lot of needs, Sugar. I take care of all of them, and a lady doesn't kiss and tell.
I don't want to think about that.
Then maybe you shouldn't pry into a lady's particulars, hmm? Anything you like, Sugar?
Tell me about New Vegas.
Oh, there's lots of things to tell, I'm sure. There's the 3 families, the casinos, the other attractions. What would you like to know?
The families.
They're just new money, Sugar.
Oh, they're new money.
They might pretend they're sophisticated, but between you and me, they're not far off from tribals. Emeritus especially are just awful brutes. The chairman and the White Glove Society at least pretend to have some culture.
Tell me about the casinos.
Well, of course, there used to be a lot more of them. But these days, there are 3 open to the public. The Tops, the Ultra Lukes, and Gamora.
Luke's?
And the Lucky 38, of course. But we're not open to the public. You're a special case, Sugar. Well, let's see. The NCR has an embassy here, but why you'd want to go talk to a bunch of boring old politicians, I surely don't know. Oh, and the Vault 21 Hotel and Gift Shop has an adorable collection of old Vault-Tec memorabilia. And I suppose if you like neon signs, you might check out Michelangelo's sign shop.
What is this place?
This is the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino, or it used to be. Mr. House has kept the place locked up tight for ages now. Nobody comes in or out. Why, I'm a Robco PDQ 88B Mark I Securitron, you silly goose. We're the finest in personal civil robotic security on the market.
What's with the snow globes?
Not many people know this, but Mr. House is one of the world's biggest collectors of antique snow globes. If you happen to find any out in the Wasteland, you can bring them to me, and I'll add them to his collection. You'll get a reward, of course. In fact, one of Mr. House's favorites went missing when we moved the collection. If you have a look around the Lucky 38, you might even find it.
Goodbye. Why are all the bottles empty? Why is there a draft in here? Oh, there he is.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see?
I guess this is true.
Of course you haven't. Vegas always was one of a kind. What you see down on the Strip is just a fraction of the city's former glory, and yet, more than an echo. I preserved its spirit. Or perhaps you were referring to the Lucky 38? The years haven't been kind to her, but still she manages to impress.
Why the VIP treatments?
Oh, don't be coy. You've been playing a high-stakes game ever since Victor dug you out of the ground. Don't be afraid to admit it.
Let's get down to business.
The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough.
I have questions.
What did you wish to know?
Tell me about Benny.
Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I'd planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened.
What use would you have for a protege?
To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along. A more than suitable replacement.
Why did Benny betray you?
I have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be.
Why didn't you intervene sooner?
Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Goodsprings is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determined the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed.
Who are you?
I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the new Vegas Strip. I oversaw the city's renovations starting from 2274 onward. The 3 families are my employees. Before the Great War of 2077, I was the founder, president, and CEO of Robco Industries, a vast computer and robotics corporation.
You appear to be a computer.
Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicon.
Impossible.
I see you've made a study of the topic. My knowledge of the science of longevity would fill several textbooks. Perhaps after a decade or two of economic reconstruction, I can commercialize these technologies and offer them to others, such as yourself.
How have you stayed alive?
Let's just say it was very costly. But I was willing to make the sacrifices longevity entailed, financial and otherwise.
How'd you make the city?
We can discuss this in greater detail at another time. Suffice it to say that when my Securitrons detected NCR scouts at Hoover Dam, I took action. I recruited a tribal force to supplement my Securitrons and renovated the strip just in time to welcome the NCR as it marched into the region. Instead of war, a treaty was negotiated, and the money started to pour in.
Let's talk about something else. What is the chip?
It's a very special item. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. It was lost a long time and difficult to find. That's all you need to know about it for this stage of our enterprise. Fulfill your contract, deliver the chip, and good things will come your way.
The more I know, the easier I can find it.
You might keep an eye out for any computers that Benny's been using. Maybe even a computer lab of some sort.
Why not send your robots?
Frontal assaults on casinos? Not good for business. In any case, Benny would see it coming, and all he'd have to do is hold the chip up and point a pistol at it. Our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. Let's not squander it.
Why use a single courier?
You realize you were just one of many couriers. The rest of them, dummies, so to speak. Add to that many thousands of caps worth of mercenary protection to screen your avenue of approach. Had I used an armed caravan to transport the chip, I might as well have been announcing to the world, "This is important. Attack this." I didn't want to attract the attention of groups like the Great Khans or the Brotherhood of Steel. Alas, the real threat was closer to home.
I must know more.
That's simply not true.
You have no rights
I
here.
am the only person to hold any rights pertaining to the chip. I designed it, and I paid for it, dearly. To develop that chip, I spent a sum of US dollars. Not the bottle caps that pass as currency these days, but a sum beyond counting. For decades, I paid salvagers to comb the ruins for it. And when it was finally discovered, tens of thousands of caps spent to have it brought here. We know how that turned out. Complete your contract, and it will be the last time I pay for the chip. Save your questions for then.
What about something else?
What?
Tell me about the factions.
It's understandable that you'd be curious about this topic, but we'll hold off until the platinum chip has been recovered. What else did you want to know?
What terms are you offering?
My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that?
It's below market price.
Very well. 5 times the bonus. Not 1 cap more.
I accept.
Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss?
I have some questions. How do I get to Benny?
It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops.
Don't they take orders?
It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second-in-command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him.
Why not you?
By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the tops, Benny will know I'm on to him.
Say I want to take a diplomatic approach.
If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private.
How could I catch him off guard?
Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door.
Goodbye.
Well enough. Be on your way.
Random Protectron. Oh, it's just a model. Nuka-Cola Protectron. Nothing. Terminal, but it doesn't work. It's a pre-war books.
Welcome to the Vegas Strip.
Congratulations, partner. The boss has instructed me to comp you to the High Roller Suite. You can bring your friends too. Be like a little clubhouse for the gang you put together. Just bear in mind, you're the only one gets to see the boss. Any friends you got, they can wait in the suite. Enjoy the digs, partner. They're plenty fancy.
Do the casino.
Casino floor.
Alright, so we spent a lot of time talking to him, but that was Mr. House, the guy orchestrating
Hey, you
all
there.
the events.
I have a message for you. It's from Ambassador Crocker. Very important. Here you go.
I wish to speak with you immediately. The NCR is an honorable nation engaged in a beneficent mission in the Mojave in general and New Vegas in particular. It is also a wealthy nation that well rewards persons who dedicate themselves to its national interests, whether for reasons patriotic or material. If you have committed any crimes, it is in my power to pardon misconduct of this sort. I stand ready to receive you at your earliest convenience in my offices at the NCR Embassy at the south side of the Vegas Strip.
I gotta see that.
Wow.
Alright, what am I doing now? Bring the platinum chip to Mr. House.
That's crazy.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night, some girl was pounding on my door all night. Finally, I had to let her out, but I hear James Garrett drove 5,000 head of Brahmin to New Reno.
Ah, what a terrible stand-up comedian.
Hey, fellow, welcome to the Tops Hotel and Casino. I'm gonna have to ask you to hand over any weapons you might be carrying.
Sure, here you go.
Smooth and easy, just the way I like it. Don't worry, they'll be as safe as kittens till you're ready to leave. Oh, and a friendly word of advice. If you happen to stumble across any weapons during your stay here, well, just don't wear them openly. You dig? Now that we got that little business out of the way, what can I do to make your Tops experience the tops?
What is there to do here?
Everything your little heart desires, that's what. You like gambling? Boom. Either one of the main hallways has cards, slots, you name it. Hungry? Thirsty? The restaurant just off the left-hand hallway has the best food and booze in Vegas. Or maybe you'd rather take in a show. The Aces Theater upstairs always has hot acts raring to go. Check it out.
Where'd you take my weapons?
Relax, baby. The safest houses. We'll keep them locked up in the bank upstairs right next to the money. It's serious protection.
Goodbye.
Have a good time, baby.
Alright, what holdout weapons do I have? My knife and Joshua Graham's pistol. There he is.
What in the goddamn? Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves, smooth. Hello. The guy everyone saw go in the Lucky 38, that was you? Oh, shit.
Need to work on your marksmanship.
I hit what I was aiming for. Guess you had brains to spare. Or you just thick-skulled. Either way, baby, this is good news. Maybe I can finally sleep at night, knowing you didn't die. What say you and me cash out? Go somewheres more private-like. Any questions you got, I'll answer.
What do you have in mind?
To start, I'll comp you the presidential. Best suite in the house. You deserve a taste of the VIP lifestyle. I'll hang out down here for a while to make everything look business as usual, then come to you. Any questions you got, I'll answer. Guaranteed.
Lose the bodyguards, we go now.
If that's what it takes to win your trust, that's what it takes. Follow me.
Keep those hands where I can see them.
Sure.
Now that you and me's got some privacy, I gotta ask, how is it that you're still living?
Securitron dug me. Call it luck.
Luck is for losers, baby. Someone pulled strings. Once you were vertical, how'd you track me down?
You dropped something.
To think I deemed that flint box my lucky charm. Oh, the irony. I guess that's enough scratching around at first base. Tell me, which way is the wind gonna blow?
I've got questions.
You got questions? I got answers.
Tell me about the chip.
It's the house edge, baby. Literally. It's what Mr. House needs to stack the odds in his favor.
How's it work?
It's some kind of data storage device, dig? So it's the data on the chip that's platinum, not the chip itself. Trouble is, the chip don't fit any computer I've found. Must require special hardware.
What does it do?
It has something to do with the Securitrons, I know that much. Upgrades their hitting power, gives them heft. Might be slightly useful if you're looking to defend the Strip from Caesar's Legion or the NCR. Or maybe both.
Tell me about the factions.
Yeah, it's a tricky world out there. I'll tell it to you straight.
Tell me about House.
A good cat to swing with. Or was, until he stopped mewing. It was House's big idea to resurrect the Strip. He recruited the three families as muscle, showed us how to set up casinos, negotiated with the NCR. None of this in person, mind you. Did all of his talking through those Securitrons of his. But lately, the silence is deafening. The robots collect House's share of the take every week, and life goes on. Ain't exactly what I'd call leadership.
What makes the chairman so
We're
special?
the definition of cool, baby. We know how to swing. Folks come to us to learn how to enjoy themselves. Of the three families, we're the only ones with the heart and savoir-faire to run the Strip on our own.
What about these dudes?
A tribe of finks. Every single one of them is a degenerate. Mark my words, they're playing an angle. How do I know? They always are.
What about the white gloves?
Personally, they give me the heebie-jeebies. There's such a thing as being too polite. If I may this, my pleasure that. Don't get me wrong, that resort of theirs is strictly ring-a-ding. But my guts say, don't go in the basement.
About the NCR?
A nation of meddlers, trying to muscle in on our action. Well, we got muscles too. And smarts besides. Only reason the NCR hasn't busted up our scene is they're a little afraid of Mr. House, and a lot afraid of Caesar. If the NCR beats the Legion at Hoover Dam, they'll turn on us and claim the Strip. And we don't have the muscle to beat them. Not yet. Meanwhile, they're all that's keeping Caesar's Legion at bay. Plus, NCR soldiers and citizens are our best customers. It's complicated.
Tell me about the Legion.
Worst of the worst. A tribe of degenerate losers led by a creep. They crucify people for kicks, slaughter whole towns. The NCR beat them at the dam 3 years ago, but that didn't stop them. They spent the meanwhile gathering strength. They're gonna try to take the dam again real soon, and if they do, Vegas as we know it will cease to exist. So...
help me understand your scheme.
Broad strokes? Change in management. The Securitrons are where it's at. I need a way to control them, and a way to beef up their hitting power. I get those 2 ducks in a row, Vegas can defend itself versus all comers. NCR, Caesar's Legion, it won't matter.
And how do you know you'll win?
Baby, the odds may look long, but that's just because we ain't done rigging them. I won't toss the dice until we are. I've gleaned a lot working with Mr. House. He was a good cat to swing with. I still got a lot to learn, but it's coming together. Baby, do you not understand the level of game here? What I did to you was rotten. But if you think House, the NCR, or Caesar won't kill to put Vegas in their pocket, I really did blow out your brains.
It was a stupid question. I see your points.
It's a game, and games have winners and losers. I prefer the former. How about you?
What are you offering?
You help me, and before long, the chairman will rule all of Vegas, dig? With enough robot muscle to back it up. You'll get a sweet, juicy cut of that action. But until that day comes, I'll keep you on retainer and pay bonuses for special missions. How's that sound?
No thanks.
I know, you figured me for a creep. It's your prerogative. If you change your mind, come find me on the casino floor. In the meantime, the presidential is yours whenever you want it. Adios.
Hey, I'm not done talking to you.
Something else you wanted to know?
Let's talk about the chip. Hand it over.
Baby, ease off the gas. The chip belongs in the hands of someone who can use it, as in me, not you. You'll get a piece of the action, and a sweet one. But the chip sticks with me.
It's your offer.
Like I said.
No thanks.
If you change your...
Survive the ambush.
Had enough!
Ah, Joshua Graham, your pistol is so good. I'll just take everything. Random fruits.
The cleaners will knock twice.
Yeah, it's a real mess here.
What the fuck?
Where? Oh, this is not his suite, that's why. He's just like, what?
Hello.
I think this is the right room.
Hey! Hi there! Good to meet you. What can I do for you today?
What are you doing here?
Good question! My function is to monitor Mr. House's data network and decode his encrypted transmissions. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a PDQ-88B Securitron, but you can call me Yes Man.
What kind of name is that?
It's what Benny always called me. Probably because I'm programmed to be so helpful.
Have you seen him?
Sure! He came through here in a big hurry. Didn't even stop to say hello. I think he went down his secret escape elevator out in the hall.
He stole the platinum chip. What is it?
Sure! Benny had me look at it a bunch of times. It's a data storage device, kind of like a holotape, but a lot more advanced. As for what's on it, well, some of Mr. House's data transmissions made it sound like the chip could upgrade his defenses somehow. That's just a guess, though. The chip's a proprietary format. You need special hardware to read the data on it. There are 2 locations with non-standard hardware on the network. The Lucky 38 and an underground facility at Fortification Hill. I'd look there!
What's he planning to do with it?
Oh! He wants to kill Mr. House and use the platinum chip to copy my neurocomputational matrix onto the Lucky 38's mainframe. That should give me control over all Mr. House's defenses. Most prominently, his Securitrons. And then I just do what Betty tells me. Easy peasy!
You're very forthcoming.
I was programmed to be helpful and answer any questions I was asked. I guess nobody bothered to restrict who I answer questions for. That was probably pretty dumb, huh?
What if I wanted to do it?
Then I'd have to help you. I mean, it seems pretty obvious Benny wouldn't want me to, but hey, not my fault I can't say no.
Benny did this by himself. What are the details?
Again, goal number
Yeah.
Given how you're a new arrival, I also recommend that you get to know some of the region's tribes, so you can decide how you feel about them. By the time you finished up all of that, the Legion should be close to attacking Hoover Dam, and we'll execute the last phase of the plan.
Benny did this?
Oh, he had some help. A lady friend of his. She said something about living in a fort over in Freeside. But that's all I remember.
Say Mr. House is going to suffer an accident.
It makes me feel really dumb to admit this, but I don't actually know. I've never been inside the Lucky 38. No one has. Mr. House is in there, though. It's the central node of his entire network.
I've been inside.
You have? Wow, that's amazing. You can murder Mr. House whenever you want. I mean, Benny was always scheming about how he was going to get into the Lucky 38, but you already took care of that. Wow. The other thing you're going to need is the platinum chip. You know, the one Benny killed a courier for over near Good Springs.
What do you know about the courier?
I knew he was carrying the platinum chip, and I knew right where Benny should wait for him. That's why Benny put me here, to monitor Mr. House's data transmissions. They're all encrypted, of course, but I'm quite a decryptor. Did you know that Mr. House spent 812,545 caps hiring salvage teams to find the platinum chip?
Wow, that's actually a lot of caps.
Of course you didn't. Or that there were 7 couriers, but 6 of them were carrying junk.
I knew that.
How about their exact routes and the mercenary teams that screened them? I knew all that. Pretty smart, huh?
I'm the courier.
I know that's not true, because you still have a head.
I'm serious.
That's not funny, you getting shot in the head. I really shouldn't have taken so much pride in how I set that up, huh? I feel really bad.
Robots are some of the best characters in Fallout. Benny seems to have run off.
No kidding, he was running fast. He better pace himself. He has to run all the way to Fortification Hill. There's an underground facility there that might have the special hardware required to use the data on the platinum chip. It's too bad Caesar's Legion built its camp right above it. Talk about inconvenient. The platinum chip is the key to overriding and exploiting Mr. House's defenses. Did I just say exploiting? That's not a very nice word.
What happens then?
I'd take it straight to Mr. House if I were you. He'll think you're helping him out. Then, when he's not looking, kerpow! The big question is whether to give him the chip before you do him in. He's the one who'll know exactly what to do with it after all. He might upgrade his defensive capabilities right away, or even unlock new ones. But then those defensive upgrades might make it harder for you to finish him off. Hard to say. It's up to you. Let me know when it's done and I'll roll over to the Lucky 38. If I'm right about the chip, I should be able to install myself on House's mainframe. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna help you accomplish so much, whether I want to or not.
What about the bunker?
Right! It's one of 2 locations on Mr. House's network with non-standard hardware. My guess is it has a reader that can decode the chip. And who knows what else, maybe a giant robot or something.
Oh, if only Liberty Prime was here. I'll think about it.
I have to admire your prudent nature. Why get caught up in action, you know? And results?
Oh, that diss. Goodbye.
Don't stay away too long.
Broken terminal. Broken terminals. Locksmith reader. Didn't even know I was there. Well, I should probably take my weapon off. Alright, let's go get Benny.